Oh, thank you, Mr. Martin. I still have trouble calling Dale or anything like that. Still Mr. Martin, my science teacher that gave me that phone call back in July or August saying, can you make it out to Michigan in January? I said, why? Or are you going to the Hall of Fame? I'm like, I thought you guys forgot about me. He goes, are you kidding me? You know, a lot of good memories with Mr. Martin in science. I learned how to outline a check. And education was always first. And I appreciate that. You know, when I was a kid, I didn't expect to get overwhelmed. You know, when I was a kid, second grade, my dad tells me, we're going to move. We're moving out of Kalamazoo. Where are we going? So we're going to a place called Galesburg. Galesburg, second grade, mind you. Okay, let's go for a drive, all right? So we take a drive, come out, we're driving, we're driving. Wow, this is like going to South Carolina. So we finally get to Galesburg. You see that spot? Yeah. We're going to build a house. Okay, that sounds like fun. There's no one around. That's the point. So we build our house, and I said, why are we building a house out here? And he tells me, words I'll never forget. He tells me, you know what, I just want you to have a chance at life. Better chance. I want you to have a better chance, an equal chance. You're not going to be a hoodlum. You're not going to do these things that, some of your friends are doing. Because you're not going to do this stuff. You're going to have an opportunity, make your own decisions and learn what it is to be a man, to be a good citizen. Okay. So, Galesburg's been obviously a good home for me. And getting to know my classmates, class of '91, Pat Sullivan, a lot of good times back. A lot of good times. Ran into Ken Simon in the hallway. He was Ken and Joel and Randy Colburn were wrestling coaches. And he talked about training you how to have endurance. Here, you're gonna wrestle a guy that's twice your size here, right? Really? Yeah, you're the same weight, he's just bigger. Are you sure? Okay, I'll fight. I don't know if that's true or not. Smell something. Soul? Yeah, there you go. Mel Soul, big guy, but it taught me tenacity. And it really did. It really showed me, don't give up in the fight. And being a law enforcement, it comes in handy. Good balance, good endurance. I learned that all in wrestling. And So I thank you for that, sir. Yeah, I've seen enough of this country when I was just running track and traveled to Kansas City, go to St. Louis, and go to all these different places, and even now in Los Angeles, I live about an hour north there, and I've seen enough to know that what goes on here, and this is really for the young people, or younger people out there, because I'm not old yet. I say this to you, appreciate what you have. Appreciate your upbringing here in a small city. I think once Galesburg was the smallest city in Michigan, if I recall. Appreciate your upbringing here, because what we have here is, as a community, the magic that's here, the magic that was here back in 911 when we went to school here, Greg Austin, and that magic is not guaranteed at other places. I would guarantee you that. I've seen a lot of stuff. And when the hard times come, I reflect back to when I was here. I honest to God do. When the tough times came, with the economy, and I was working for the state of California, working for the city of Los Angeles, 9/11 took place, they had to lay people off. And it was a tough time with a young family. That was hard times. And my memories of being here, having the friendships that I have, staying at Greg Austin's house, Pat Sullivan's house, staying at Greg's dad's house out in the middle of nowhere in that cornfield for overnight before the game. I mean, all that stuff kicks in to get through those tough times. They really do. And there is no replacement for memories. There's nothing that can be better than having a good life, good upbringing, and good memories. You know, I think about the coaches that influenced me. There was a ton. I mean, it's so bad. Coach Austin, I think it was Coach Osteen, Cox. I believe it was Coach Pyramid. He used to drive us down to Ike Payne Park in this big, nice van that was it was a big wagon. It was a big van that he would use, and he would take us down to the park, and that's the beginning of our football career, was playing Rocky. I think about Marty and Tim Moore. Take my hat off to you guys. If there was ever something that I felt a little squeamish about talking about, whether it's to my folks, my brother, or anyone else, or something, I knew I could go with Martin and Tim. Right? It was laughter beyond intelligence. They really challenged you to think. And you could not engage either one of them unless you had your thinking held. And that's a lot of respect to them, because it was a great thing that they would do. They would challenge us in different ways to get us to think. Think before you react. It was kind of like the model. And I always appreciate that about them. Coach Sullivan's intelligence and Coach Forrester's convictions. Coach Morgan, had a good time with him last night, and he put me at defensive end originally. I didn't touch the football until 9th and 10th grade. And him doing that was a lot of fun, because he taught you aggression. You don't have to touch the ball and think about the ball. You just go ahead and just kill the guy. Just knock him down, run him over. You're defensive end. Who cares about the football? And then the pros will get into it, and then you have to. But on a serious note, Coach Morgan really taught aggression. And the thing I told him last night, I really mean it. He taught you how to take control of it and use it to dominate. Whatever it is, whatever the task is, and I use it to this day. A lot of what we're talking about here today, it stays with you the rest of your life, through your careers. And that kind of tenacity, that controlled strength, that controlled aggression, and man, we need that. You know, Coach Losey, he really commanded respect with kindness. You know, he was, to me, kind of a soft-spoken guy, but he was still tough as nails. And I got this scar on my lip right now. It's still there. And came off the field, and he started stitching me up right there on the sideline. And I'm thinking, oh man, the scar is going to be there. It's not going to go away. And he just looks at me, oh, that's nothing, dude. I went, all right, sir, anything to say? Just go back out of the game. It's all right, I'm out of here. Go back out to the game. And again, someone mentioned earlier, I think it was Jackie, Coach Bulow would give his speech. And I don't remember the halftime speech, but I know that prior to every game, it was Niagara Falls. And everybody in there, hey, there was not a dry eye. Coach Bulow would give his speech, and everyone was crying their eyes out. And it was every single game. There was not one game where not everyone was from. Everyone was Niagara Falls. And then we run onto the field. I mean, you had to feel sorry for the other team because that was just raw, pure emotion coming like a Mack truck at these guys. They didn't know what hit them. So he really showed that you could be a passionate, emotional person and get the job done. You know, I think of Coach Maskell, you sir. I think the best optimist I've ever run into. And he really showed optimism, how to be an optimist, how to have optimism, that nothing was impossible, everything was possible. And I take that with me every day because you have to make choices. You can have a choice to be negative, you can have a choice to be positive. You can have a choice of, am I going to be a positive, productive person today? Am I going to be an unproductive person? So every morning I wake up, I make that decision when I get out of bed. I'm going to be an optimistic. I'm going to plan for the worst, expect the best, but I'm going to be optimistic. And I appreciate you, Coach, showing me that, and the talks that we had throughout the years, where in the communications we had, I would write you and call you and tell you, hey, you know, I was just thinking about the time you drove me up to the state championship. It was just Coach and I, because that was our track team. We only had 4 or 5 guys, but those guys were part of that magical team, and they did that to help me out. You know? So at the state championship, I go up there and I'm feeling like I'm running for all of us. It wasn't just for me. There's no way I did it by myself. All these memories, all these good times, they go a long way with me. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Growing up here, 3rd grade on, meeting people like Pat and Greg and Bob, and it's a magical place. Anything to do with my life. Couldn't have done it without me, that's for sure. Thank you.
Augusta High School hired a new teacher. Little did they know that they were hiring a great tennis coach.